Hey there guys, welcome back to Chelsea Explain as this is your match review after Chelsea winning away in the London Derby at Selhurst Park 3 goals to 1. Would have been really nice to keep that clean sheet, but anyway, the most important thing is that we're winning and we are pretty close now to the top 4. We're chasing Man United, Villa, City and Arsenal. And Rosigne has been in charge of 5 games now, has gotten 4 wins out of those 5, and yeah, it's a pretty solid start. Um, for me, no matter how it goes, except if we're winning, Premier League, Champions League. I mean, I still want Blue Co out, but I'm not going to, say that in every video. I also want to discuss around the games, how it has gone. Yeah, I still want to talk about Chelsea news and players and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, before we dive any further into the match review, if you're new here, make sure to like this video, subscribe to my page, and hit that notification bell down below so you never miss when the content drops. I think it's fair to say that maybe Oliver Glasner will get the sack. I know he has mentioned that he's gonna um, quit as a manager of Palace by the summer, but yeah, you could really see it. It wasn't a great Palace side. I mean, they were all right in some moments, but they didn't give it to their 100%. And when you have a manager that wants to leave, when you're losing star players and these kind of stuff, of course you will drop in performances. And I think Palace has gone now 11 consecutive games without a victory. So it was very, very important we took advantage of their poor form, which we did. It's not gonna be the most beautiful games now in the beginning of Rosigne. I still think he's still gonna have stuff to work upon. That's why we have to give him a fair amount of games to be able to work on that on the training ground. For example, that our attacks looks a bit more smooth and fluid, having the type of right chemistry with each other, right decision making, as well as defensively wise. I think we're looking on and off in these games. We're letting the opponents get a lot of clear-cut chances. That is something that I hope he's gonna improve as well, but we have to give him that time, of course. Now, I expected Palace to have a sort of game plan where they were gonna sit back in a low block and just frustrate and wait to go on counterattacks, but they didn't really do that. They tried to play another type of game. They tried to control possession, press us high, both in a high and mid block, but they shouldn't have done that because that allowed us to score a couple of goals, both from Estêvão in the first half, where, to be fair, it was a horrendous pass from one of the Palace defenders. It was like a through ball straight to Estêvão, but fair play to Estêvão, who was concentrated and awake, took advantage of that, and he showed the other forwards how you should finish in 1 versus 1 situation. Something Sterling could maybe look into. Estevao throughout the game, just a fantastic game. The first half was a bit, I wouldn't say was that great. I think Palace was most charged of the first half. We gave away a silly free opportunity where Badashile misplaced a pass to Mateta. He was through goal, and somehow Sanchez made an incredible save. I mean, as we're saying, Sanchez, fair play. You are a fantastic shot stopper, cross collector. You gotta have to admit that, and kept us in the game. And we're going into halftime 1-0, and instead of just playing it safe, as Liam Rosinger has spoken about, we're coming into the second half and actually trying to score the next goals. If it was under Maresca, we're gonna just play short passes, be very controlled, be cautious, but Liam want us to go for the next goal, and that actually paid off in the second half, where the other Brazilian star we have in the team, in João Pedro, made the second goal. He was linking up with Estêvão. Estêvão received an assist as well. He was being composed, making the right decision by cutting inside past the Palace defender, and he slotted it in with his left foot. I really love how João Pedro is not afraid whatsoever to shoot, whether it's with his right or left foot. You need to be able to do that if you want to be a top forward. You won't always get a chance on your preferred foot. So that was really nice, and that also came from Palace really being open and playing with a high line. And then later on, we're scoring the third one, where actually Reece James is overlapping, making a cross into the box, and João Pedro receives that, and he's taking a shot, but the Palace defender has his arm in a normal position, but it hinders the shot to go into open net, and therefore we are being awarded a penalty. Really weird he didn't get a red card, even if it wasn't intentional. But nonetheless, Fernandes steps up as the second penalty taker, because Palmer wasn't part in the squad this game. And he steps up, being calm, collected, slots it in the right bottom corner, and the game is basically done from there on. Palace gets a red card from Adam Wharton, being completely reckless throughout the whole game, just making unnecessary harsh tackles. I don't know why. And after Palace went down to 10 men, we dropped completely in concentration, and we were giving them a sort of scrappy goal on a set piece. It would have been nice to keep the clean sheet, but nonetheless, the most important thing was getting the job done. And now when we have a new manager, and every game is not gonna look 10 out of 10. I expect us maybe if we play 5-6 more games, I expect things to improve both offensively and defensively wise, but everything just simply won't click immediately. And yeah, I think Palace game plan, as I spoke about earlier, they were kind of, I don't know, I feel like maybe Oliver Glasner feel like he's gonna leave anyway, so we might as well try and play a bit more open and go for it. But as I've spoken about before, that's very difficult to do against us, because we love when teams open up, because we're gonna play through their press. And we have so quick forwards and technical players that can play excellent through balls and this kind of stuff, that it just plays into our favor. So in terms of player performances, there's some I'm quite happy with, some I'm not so happy with. First of all, my man of the match is Estêvão Willian, without doubt. We really have the Brazilian magic and flair in Estêvão and João Pedro. And Estêvão, I think, is gonna just continue to grow and grow, and I really appreciate that Liam is actually utilizing him and not playing it safe like Maresca did, who barely utilized him for whatever reason. I don't know. I mean, Estêvão is mature for his age and he's ready to face any opposition, and you can see he's actually just growing more and more now the more gameplay he gets. So I think Estêvão will just blossom massively this season, and gonna continue to provide with goals and assists. And he's just so directness, he's so fearless when he going against the opponents, and he's also someone that has the attributes and has the like abilities to put the ball in the net, like some other players in this team really struggling with, even if they have a clear cut opportunity. So very impressed with Estêvão, and we have to continue utilizing him. And the next player I'm very happy with is João Pedro. He was quite quiet, had a difficult start to the game, but he grew more into it and he took advantage of the opportunity he got from Estêvão and slotted it home. João Pedro is also gaining a momentum again, scoring a few goals now under Liam Rosenior. And I think him and Estêvão is building a great partnership. I'm looking very forward to continue seeing them playing together. I think we have something going on there between them. A great bond and chemistry that's being slowly built. The third player I'm also happy with is Enzo Fernandez because I think he just had a solid game and he also stepped up on that penalty. I thought James was alright. I like that we utilized him like an overlapping fullback at times. He can do that. He didn't run up and down throughout the game constantly, but at times, and we want James to be in those positions where he can deliver his very dangerous whipped crosses, where he has the sort of timing to make that overlap, make a cutback cross, cutback pass. He can also slightly be outside the edge of the box to take a shot because he has really good shooting technique and power in his shots. So I really like a lot of things I'm seeing from Liam Rosenior so far and how he's utilizing the players compared to how Maresca utilized them. But Santos, Caicedo building a decent partnership in the midfield as well. Chaluba was solid as a defender. As I mentioned earlier, also Sanchez I think had a strong game. There was some players that could do a bit better. Neto and Barashile struggled a bit. Cucurella at times too. Neto didn't have his game. Maybe it was because he played on left hand side. I don't know, or maybe because we had players too far apart and didn't help him enough on that flank. I don't know. Maybe you guys have some answer to why Neto looked so poor. Barashile were a bit sloppy in possession at times, as he can be. I feel like he's a bit error prone too. But I think Liam is playing him because he's left-footed, and that means you have other passing angles when playing out from the back. There's some angry dog outside, alright. Cucurella, I mean, decent as well. I think he has been decent in recent games, but not to the level we know Cucurella can play at. Maybe he is fatigued, out of form, out of confidence. I don't know. We'll see if this continue going forward. So yeah, very pleased with the start we got under Liam Rosenior and looking very much forward to the Napoli game. We're taking the momentum into that game. And yeah, this is the lineup, by the way, that we had. We had Sanchez in goal, James, Chaluba, Barashile, Cucurella as defenders, Santos, Caicedo in a pivot, front four of Estêvão, Fernandes, Neto, and João Pedro. We also saw some substitutions to rest some guys ahead of the Napoli game. The lap was brought in with 6 minutes to go of the game. Gittens came in, got some minutes. We had Heito, Fofana, and who else did we bring in? Gusto. Yeah, we brought in Gusto as well. So some players are getting important rest ahead of Napoli game, and some other players getting minutes off the bench, which you need also to gain match sharpness and learn Maresca's system, etc. Gittens also someone that may be struggling a bit, but it's his first season in Premier League. It will take some time to acclimatize and learn his role and learning how to handle himself in the speed of the Premier League. So there are some guys who will be patient with that we just brought in and they are quite young. But that's also the thing. It would just be so nice to have that experienced spine of players that young players can learn from and that can help the players when they are brought into the club and everything is new, to kind of settle down and get into the team and this stuff. So yeah, please guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Who was your man of the match? Do you think also Estêvão and João Pedro has something going on, that they're building some nice chemistry with each other? And I will happily read that in the comments down below. And I see you later for the next video when I'm out. Bye.